We are live. It is 2:04 Central Standard Time in the United States, 8:04 BST in the UK, and also it is 3:04 Eastern Standard Time. We got Darren. Thought he'd swing on by. So we were going to be a little solo, and he thought he would be able to be such a
I'm going to crash the podcast.
Oh man, it's not even a crash. It's like it's always open invitation for Darren. He's one of my favorite people to have on. So he was available. We didn't want to go solo. Hey, Joe, this is 4 episodes in a row where we had a guest.
It is, mate. Yeah,
the trend.
Yeah, well, that's okay. And Joe did proper well. He had Ted Salmon and Steve Litchfield on, and we had JoJo the Techie, and we had Easy the Tech Preacher, and now we got Darren. Shit, man.
I know.
Good lineup of people.
I'm a little further down the rung there, but that's okay. That's all right.
Hey, you know what? We're like way below all that. We're not even reviewers of anything. We don't even have our own website. We're just a bunch of basic podcasters.
I've got a product in for review, so
okay. A Soundcore. So is it like a sound bar? Is that what that is?
No, it's a Bluetooth speaker.
Oh, okay, cool, man.
Speaker. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't unboxed it yet because I need to make unboxing content as well as review.
Gotcha. Well, cool, man. So good. Hey, Darren, how you been, man? I know I talked to you a couple days ago. So hopefully everything's going well for you.
Everything's good, man. It's been a nice, beautiful day here in Toronto. We've had a shit ton of rain. It's been the rainiest summer ever in Toronto.
Right.
Same here, man. Same here.
Yeah, we've had some interesting. So we either get like a lot of pouring rain. It's like really bad thunderstorms. And then, but it's not like this long, like 8-hour most of the day, just a nice, good soaking rain. It's kind of like you're doing fine. Like yesterday was perfectly fine until about like 3:00, and it went, and it went crazy. It was pretty bad. So, I'm glad to see at least the rain. We're not getting droughts because I know a lot of places were in drought conditions. So
well, in Australia, it's mostly drought all the time. So this is a nice change to have a little bit of rain in there.
I was gonna say most of the country is pretty dry. It seems like you got the outback, and then all the other places. It looks except for like maybe the cities and some outlying coastal areas, it looks pretty barren most of the time.
Well, it was funny. We know when we had all of that smoke that was billowing up across into Canada and all of that, and there was a couple I heard some teenagers. I was at my local coffee shop, and some teenagers were bitching, saying, the smoke, it's horrible. I can't breathe. Blah 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 blah. And I remember saying to them, I'm like, listen, guys, I'm from Australia. It's like everything's on fire most of the time, so it's a little bit of smoke in the air is nothing to worry about, right? But
absolutely. Yeah, you guys will live. And if you don't, well, at least you got your coffee, so that's a plus. So.
True. That's true.
Jimmy, we have Dr. Anil. Dr. Anil is in the chat.
Yeah.
Hey,
congratulations again.
Barry.
Scoop Barry, Jimmy's in the chat. We're doing good. So
all the good ones.
Yeah, Barry's about to start driving, so he'll be listening to us, so he won't be able to chitty chat. But as long as he can participate and be here, that's all that matters. We really appreciate
Dan's in there as well.
And we saw Dan the man, and he's got article out on Windows Central. You should go check that out.
Great read.
Yeah, it's a great article. He's doing a really great job over there. So it's kind of nice to have Dan's commentary and have his articles over there. We really
definitely, man.
It's really good. So we made a comment on the now mentioned X. That we were going solo, and that's where Darren decided to pop on in. So how's everybody feeling about the application formerly known as Twitter? I guess we should do it like that, right? Kind of like that.
Someone mentioned someone had tweeted out about this, about how X kind of sounds like the website you shouldn't go to. It sounds a little dirty, just a touch. But I kind of feel like it's the perfect name for Twitter, because Twitter at any given time, at any given day, is just a little bit dirty and a little bit inappropriate. So I kind of feel like it fits.
Yeah, and always super sketchy. It just feels sketchy to me.
Oh,
yeah. So I what I'm more excited about is watching people lose their minds over it. That's more fun. How people are just like a very visceral. It's almost like you know what I mean? It's like they literally,
it matters that much.
Well, yeah,
it doesn't.
And that's what I'm going to call it. Just the formerly known as Twitter.
Twitter, yeah.
And now I guess they're not. So they're X's, right? They're instead of like tweets or now they're posts. Did you say that was just posts or postings or repostings?
I think it was at one point. It was called Xting. Someone was mentioning
that's just terrible.
Which is retarded. But yeah, like stupid. But I mean, I think most people have just kind of, I think if you're not already there and you've just gone, who cares? Like, if you're not at that point yet, you know, you're really getting too involved in the world of Twitter and Elon's, you know, propaganda machine. Just let it go. Just be you. Keep doing what you need to do, you know?
Well, and I think that you're kind of playing into his marketing campaign, right? It's here we go. It's like ever since he announced he's bought Twitter, I can't get it was like Donald Trump. I cannot get this guy out of my news feed. Yeah. People talking about it. I'm like, God, it's just like that was the thing that drove me nuts amongst the other things about that situation with the former president that I just don't want to get into. But just like that's the problem was like with Elon Musk, it's every day Elon's doing this and Elon's doing that. He's on this show. He's talking about X. He's talking about Twitter. It's just like, oh Jesus, I can't.
I have to give him props though. Like, I'm going to be honest with you. He's almost taken a page from like Apple, where it's let's just get our name out there, let's get our brand out there, and just get it talking about in people's mouths like it is right now, and it's working, right? If people are talking about it, they're thinking about it. And I mean, I think there was an article that came out this week saying that, you know, when he changed the name, he lost $4 billion in one day. But then in the past 6 months, he's also gained like 40% new followers to the platform. So I mean, it's working. Whether you like it or not, it's working, right? That's just kind of where it is.
Well, I don't like it, but I don't really care that much because I'm like, well, you know, at the end of the day, I got better things to do. I still use it. I just noticed that my icons change and now it just kind of says X and
X. Yeah,
I don't like the black. I really wish we could kind of, you know, do all that kind of stuff. So I don't know.
Icon.
Yeah, it's whatever. It's fine. And I'm also impressed with Joe because he almost looks American today with that getup he's got.
That's what I was going for. Wingfest yesterday, got a free T-shirt, and apparently it's very nice barbecue sauce as well.
It's a very nice one.
Yeah, it's very good barbecue sauce. Sweet Baby Ray's is very good. And the funny thing is I'm seeing you like walking through a barbecue festival here, like Kansas City or in St. Louis.
Yeah.
And until you open your mouth, they're gonna be like, "Hey, what's up, man? Hey, what's up, man?" Right? You're gonna look. You got the truck. Yeah, I got the hat with is those pins, or is that just kind of like?
No, that's part of the thing. That's all sponsors. Oh. This was a free hat from Wingfest.
Absolutely. So yeah, and I was gonna say it looks. You almost again. You could walk through the crowd, and you're proper American right now.
That's what I'm going for. That's what I'm going for.
It's working. So, look at Jimmy, and he's putting $2 in the chat. Super chat. Thanks, Jimmy. Appreciate it, mate. Appreciate you always. Remember, stay hydrated. And Jimmy's a proper good dude.
Do you know what? I actually got myself a bottle of water before we started, and I left it in the room there.
That's okay. Yeah, free merch is the best merch. Yeah, also, I'm all about the swag, right? Well, that's where I got this from, right? GQ is another barbecue. We got a barbecue theme going on. I guess we didn't tell Darren about it.
I know. Sorry, I would have put on my I don't know, I love ribs T-shirt. And,
right, could have had a barbecue theme. My buddy GQ, my buddy Jason Ganal owns the GQ barbecue chain in Denver, Colorado, and it's very good. And I had a couple of years ago, he had a barbecue fest here in St. Louis called Q in the Lou, which was kind of a cool name, I thought. And I was one of his pit masters helping out and that kind of thing. So I got free barbecue. It was great. It was an awesome experience. Jason's good dude. Great company. If you're in the Denver area, check them out. It's really good food. And I'm just kind of more disappointed that you never had Sweet Baby Ray's. That kind of disappoints me.
Yeah, well, I witnessed a speed eating competition, and they had Sweet Baby Ray's on it. They had to eat 10 wings. It was pretty good.
10 wings, that's nothing.
So they didn't have any Sweet Baby Ray's sauce on any of the things you were trying at
this
festival?
Wingfest is the vendors themselves, so they're all London-based.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Well,
it was good though. I'll tell you what I did have. I had it's going to sound strange. Apple crumble buffalo wings. They were beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful. Yeah, and cheesy Cheetos.
Cheesy Cheetos.
Buffalo wings. Yeah, they were good.
So is it? I'm just trying to picture this in my head. So I'm assuming that the wings were coated in some kind of barbecue sauce, and then the outer is the crushed up Cheetos / apple crumble.
Yeah, they put all sorts on it. All different ones, yeah.
Okay. All right, so you kind of basically crush up Cheetos and throw them on wings and then put some... Okay. Yeah, I've never done that before, but okay.
Check out Wingfest. Check out Wingfest. You'll see like loads of pictures and videos and that. It's brilliant. Just you eat chicken all day.
Now, here's the thing I guess really kind of made me kind of like, really? that seems like an American thing. Like, is that been going on for a while in the UK?
Yeah, I think it has. The first time I went was 2019, but that wasn't the first one. I think it was 2012, 2014, something like that. Maybe even earlier. I don't know.
It's got a whole American vibe to it, man. And I'm in for it, man.
It's brilliant, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing I told people.
You'd love
in
it.
the UK. Yeah, people in the UK don't really know much about like things that we've gotten used to, Darren, like barbecues and briskets and all those. I mean, those kind of things. I think the UK is underserved. That's why I said if we ever move to the UK, I'm opening up a St. Louis restaurant and we're doing all the St. Louis stuff and barbecue, and we will be billionaires.
I'll bring some Canadian poutine. We'll throw that on the menu.
Oh, dude, yeah, absolutely, with some Cheeto
some kangaroo.
Yeah, some kangaroo and Cheeto dust on it. It'd be good. That'd be kangaroo poutine. It'd be awesome. Yeah, it's good.
It would go down well, definitely.
Absolutely.
A lot of people don't realize, I don't know if you guys know this, but in Australia, when you go to like a grocery store, you actually can buy kangaroo meat in the meat section of your grocery store.
Okay.
It's actually really quite good. It's funny. It doesn't taste like chicken and it doesn't taste like beef. It's kind of like a weird mix of like, it looks like liver when you buy it, like it's very dark, that kind of like darkish, brownish kind of color. But then when you cook it, it's almost like a really, really, really lean beef, but doesn't taste like beef. It's
almost like venison or deer, right? It's kind of guys.
I guess
Walkabout used to sell kangaroo burgers.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And then and the thing back in the 80s was Jack in the Box tacos were made out of kangaroo meat. That was kind of the thing. That was the job. I was like, what's funny is Jack in the Box tacos, so aren't even meat at all. It's like a soy process. So, go figure, right? So if you have a Jack in the Box and you're eating a taco, and if you're vegan, you're in. It's plant-based, man. Soy. It's all good. I love them, though. I shouldn't because they're terrible for you, and it's not even meat, but it's
all the best stuff is though, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I have no real good justification for why I like them, but I do. My daughter and I are big fans, so it's cool. So I guess enough of that talkity talk, right? So let's get into it. Pixel Fold, Darren, you've had it now a couple of weeks now.
I have.
Main device. Where are we at? Maybe 14 days later. What things we like, things we go, all that stuff. Where are we at?
So. If this is my take on it, I love Pixel. I have a Pixel 7 Pro. It's been my main device since it launched for the most part. If the Z Fold 5 had been better, like different aspect ratio, better cameras, I probably would have jumped ship. But because it's very much samey, the Pixel Fold right now is the only foldable that I would suggest people pick up. Because you can use it and it very much feels like a regular device in the hand when you're using the outer display. And then you have that convenience of almost like a Pixel tablet, maybe not as big, but when you open it up, it's been solid. It's been very solid. And a lot of these complaints that people have about like overheating and battery, I never had any issues with my Pixel 7 Pro, and I haven't had any issues on the Pixel 4. Yeah. So I mean that's my take. I mean I don't know how everyone else feels.
Oh look at Lauren coming through. Through.
You texted him, didn't you?
Yeah, he said, "Hey, bring my drink because I'm a bitch and I forgot it."
I didn't quite word it like that, but I should have.
No, you're a bitch, not her.
It would have been fair.
Yeah,
it would have been
suck.
fair.
Right. It's like, no, honey, I'm sorry. Message? Yeah, I'm sorry, honey. I'm a complete fucking dipshit. Can you go ahead and bring me my water that's literally on the
why tell her things she already knows?
Yeah, she's like, I'm already married to you. It's already kind of baked into the process that you're a moron.
And while we're at that point, Sam, 9 years on Tuesday.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And still hasn't got rid of me.
Chat.
Hey.
Puff pass. What's up, man? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're properly hydrated. You know what I mean. If you know, right? He knows what's up. Anyway, so
in that bottle is actually just straight vodka. Joe doesn't say anything.
Yeah,
it's vinegar, right? It's just vinegar.
Vinegar. Oh, God, I do like my vinegar on chips.
Man, I cannot.
No.
Can't. I know that's a British thing. That's a
not fries, chips.
No, I'm talking any of that, either fries or crisps or any of that shit. No way.
You don't put it on your crisps.
Yeah. No, they got no. I just no.
Oh, you have sort of vinegar crisps, yeah. I guess so. Yeah, the flavor, yeah.
Yeah, just
I know my wife loves vinegar on her fries, her chips.
Yeah.
I am grossed out every time she does it because
Have you tried it?
I have, and I don't mind it. It's just not. That's not my flavor palette. That's the simplest way to put it. Like I don't really dig sour or that kind of stuff. But not for me. But I do appreciate a good chip though, and I have to call it chips because that's what they should be called. None of these French fries.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, but
that's fine. Fair enough.
Sorry, Sam.
Easy.
Sorry, Sam.
Oh, it's okay. No, Easy's in the chat. My man, the tech preacher, has a great content going on. He's got a new video came out. He does his no puff, no passes. He's got his brother there. It's really good. He does the pixel. Yeah, he does the full 5. It's pretty good. Check it out. It's a good video. He's always putting out good content. I mean, we're huge fans, obviously, and check out that stuff.
The whole family here in the chat.
Yeah, we got quite a crew here today. Usually on the Joe and I shows, people do roll through. We get the same awesome, dedicated group of folks coming in there and listening to the live stream.
We actually gave them a heads up for once as well, not 2 minutes.
Yeah, or we just show up. Well, we're also, and I'm going to ask everybody in the chat, just generally, people who are participating, we're thinking about going to the 2 o'clock, 8 o'clock instead of 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock time slot. So we're going up an hour. I think it works better for Joe. It's not too late for him. Also, it starts to encroach on stuff getting me ready for like dinner time because it's 4 o'clock and it's late. So. Also, I think El Jefe's stream starts at 4 my time, or it's right. It bumps up right against it, so it gives us a little bit of cushion. I don't want to overlap any other creator, obviously, because I do watch his show quite a bit. So so it's good. Yeah, I know, I get it. We're all sleeping on this. I've tried them. It's not that I'm sleeping on them. I'm very awake on them, and I'm very not a fan of it. And they're okay. Like I said, it's just. It's whatever.
What do you have to flavor your chips then?
I usually just don't eat anything. Usually I will either just do a little bit of pepper or
no carbs before marbs.
No, and actually and unfortunately, because I used to work for a country club where the general manager was Dutch, I kind of get into the mayo kind of dip a little bit.
Mayo on chips is nice, yeah.
Yeah. I try not to do it because it's like it feels unhealthy as hell. And then, but like I said, it's one of those things where, a little bit of mayo, but normally there's be times I don't do ketchup a lot. Not because I don't like ketchup. I just don't put ketchup on a lot of stuff. I don't eat it with chips. Yeah. I don't put it on a hot dog. It's very rarely on a burger unless it's part of the sauce package, right? Mayo, mustard, onions, pickles. But other than that, ketchup generally is just not something I eat. My daughters and my wife do. It's I don't dislike it. It's now there is this mayo, like the mayo ketchup mix that they sell now. Heinz
that's good.
I need to try that because I'm like, that might be the good spot for me. Right? I don't really like a lot of ketchup, but I do like mayo, and it kind of puts it in the middle. Maybe I should give that mayo chup or whatever it's called.
So you know what's funny, Sam? When I'm making a burger, I like my mayonnaise on my burger, but I don't like ketchup. But I like ketchup on my chips, but I don't like mayo on my chips.
So for a hot dog, do you just do mustard only, or is it just all?
Good question. So it depends on how I feel, but most of the time it's a mustard only kind of deal. No ketchup on that as well, right? Like
I don't do ketchup on a hot dog. It feels weird to me.
Really? I have both.
Again, it's probably because I'm not a huge fan. Again, I don't dislike ketchup. I just don't eat a lot of it. It's like the same thing with milk. I just don't drink a lot of milk generally for a meal. My wife will drink a glass of milk with a meal. I just can't do that.
You have onions though, right?
Yeah.
Onions,
absolutely.
That's the level up right there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And we'll talk about Oppenheimer. I haven't seen it, but I want to see it in proper 70 millimeter, like in a movie theater. But there are not many places around here that have that. So I'm waiting for the buzz to die down because we tried to do it on opening night and forget it. It was like completely sold out. So I'm like,
it's really immature, right? I saw a thing on Instagram where a guy must have held his fart in for ages until a point in that film where it does like a countdown and he goes, and then the whole cinema just laughs. It's so immature, but I couldn't help but laugh.
Oh, yeah. Nothing about a good fart sound just to make everybody laugh, right? I still remember I went, and this is going to show how old I am. So I went and saw the movie Dazed and Confused. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. Yeah. So if you haven't, that's where Matthew McConaughey's in it.
Black and white.
No, it's not that goddamn old. It's not Casablanca. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway,
Charlie Chaplin's the lead.
Right. But anyway, so there's a scene where they're sitting on top of a water tower, and the guy's like completely stoned out of his mind. He's like, I mean, look at the fucking town, man. It's like so dead, right? And so I'm watching in the movie there, it's fully packed, and then he says that line, and some in the back goes, and look at the fucking town, man. And the whole fucking theater just bust up laugh. It was perfectly timed. Like he was waiting for it. And it had the whole kind of like, Adam Sandler kind of, dude, it was funny as shit.
He sits there and does it every showing. That's what you didn't know.
Yeah. Probably so. And I just happened to catch it that night. But dude, it was perfectly timed. Right after he said it in the movie, he said that, and it was from the back. So it had to be the back row. And the whole, probably a good 2 minutes of just absolute gut-busting laughter. The whole place just erupted. It was funny as hell. So
that happened. It happened to me. I remember when I went and saw it. There was a terrible movie about a guy who gets abducted by a UFO. I think it's called Fire in the Sky. Forgive me.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
And it's the only movie I've ever been to where halfway through the movie theater, and the movie is kind of long and drawn out, so I can understand. Someone just like chimes up from the back row, "Is this shit done yet?" And the whole movie theater, like you said, Sam, just lost it laughing, and they could not recover after that. Like people were it was just side comments, people cracking jokes the whole time, and I didn't remember what the second half of the movie was about.
Yeah, Ibrahim's putting in so for those of you UK customers, Google is giving away free 4K Chromecast with Google TV if you take out 2 terabytes on Google One for £80 a year. Okay, that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah. What if you've already got that?
Well, do you already have the 2 terabytes, or do you need to you up?
I think I have. Yeah, let me check.
Oh, I don't. I use OneDrive. I know. Surprise, Microsoft, right? I mentioned that. And I have a terabyte on Microsoft's on OneDrive, so it's all there. But that's a pretty good deal. If you can get that and get yourself a Chromecast, that's pretty sweet. I like that. See, we don't get stuff like that anymore. I don't know. In Canada, is that a thing? Do they get deals like that? Because
they're doing the same offer right here, actually.
Well, maybe they do it in the United States too. I'm not even paying attention.
Yeah, they normally do. I think. Yeah, I'm already.
Well, especially Google.
Terabyte. Damn it.
Yeah. So anyway, but if you're in the UK and you want to pick up that deal, that's a pretty good deal. I like it. So
what happens if I like downgrade and then upgrade again? Does that work?
Just go get yourself a Chromecast then. Just go get a Chromecast then. That's fine.
Do you guys have a Chromecast?
I do not.
Various, yeah.
Okay. How do you like it? Because I've been on the fence about buying one for a while.
Well, I use MovieBox Pro quite a lot, so yeah, it's really good.
Nice.
I don't know how much it costs for regular people. I have a buddy, actually I have 2 friends who one retired from Microsoft corporate. The other guy worked in their sales division. And so I got a really good deal where basically I'm on some kind of internal pathway where I only pay $8 a month and I get Office 365 as well.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Plus I also had a bunch of stuff because they used to, when you bought a Windows phone back in the day, they would give you all these like credits for stuff. So I had until like 2 years ago, I had like revolving Windows Phone, Microsoft, like they just kept stacking, and it was kind of cool. So I only pay like a little less than 10, and I think for a terabyte, I think it's 15. I don't know. I'd have to price it out, but I mean, it hasn't changed, so I don't know if they have. I mean, he's retired, so I'm sure he's not actively doing anything. I don't know. Maybe one day they'll make me pay the full price, which is fine. If they do, I'll pay it. I don't care. I like OneDrive's great. It works for all my devices. As soon as I open up a new device, it says I sync my OneDrive to it. It says, "Hey, do you want to turn on camera upload?" I do, and it's perfect. It works out great. So it's not too bad. So again, I guess are you gonna maybe think about still getting a Fold 5, even though you got the Pixel and you feel the way you are, or?
I'll be honest with you. If I was gonna do it, I would do a trade-in because, like, here in Canada, the Fold 5 is like $2,400.
Bloody hell!
Yeah. Right. So, I think right now they're offering, like, for an iPhone 14 Pro, something or other, it's $950, towards the cost of the Fold 5. It still works out with taxes to be about $1,500 out of pocket, which again is already a lot of money after I just dropped, a ridiculous amount on getting the Fold imported to Canada, which I won't go into right now. But I don't know. Like, I think the more interesting thing for me is probably the Flip, because I feel like that's the one they're pushing this year. If I would maybe even consider just going for the Flip instead of the Fold. I know not a lot of people.
That can go alongside, can't it?
There you go. That's what the Fold's going to cost you.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Yeah. a kidney or two maybe in there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. To be honest with you, like if I was gonna do it, I would do a flip 5 and keep the Pixel Fold and just kind of rock both of them. One for the weekends, one for the weekdays, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, it's insanely expensive here for the releases. But having said that, they are offering over here in Canada. I get a corporate, not a discount, but a corporate bonus if I order through Samsung, where they include a case for free. Yeah, I know. Okay. And also 1 year of Samsung Care for free.
That's not bad.
Well,
did you get the buds as well?
No buds. No.
Man, they love giving buds away.
No buds chill. No buds chill.
Buds. Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. Well, like I said, it's I mean that's not bad. ER did a little bit of conversion there. So one of those euro things equals $1.29 equals and it's $1.70 Canadian. Okay, so it's not bad. I mean, yeah, man, Canada does get screwed over. It's because they're because they're so nice. They're just generally nice people, and they're just like, oh, okay, babe. Well, okay, bud. We'll just go ahead and pay the money, eh?
Yep, that's pretty much right. And that's the same with gas prices over here. I don't know what you guys are paying for gas right now, but it's insane.
There goes our Canadian listeners.
Right. No, I love. I'm a huge fan of Canada. I love that place. I mean, every time I visit, people are, oh, dude, it's a blast. I went to Ontario. I've been
party at my place, guys.
I've been to Toronto a couple times. It's a beautiful place. I love Toronto. I've been to Windsor. Yeah, we'll just hang out at Darren's house. We'll just show up in his driveway.
We'll do barbecue, man. I'll get some Sweet Baby Ray's. I'll do some ribs in the backyard.
Yeah, I'm feeling it.
Right now, Sweet Baby Ray's in Canada costs an extra 30% more because it's Canada.
Of course. Actually, and it's funny that you say that because Joe, I'm actually heading your way in March.
Oh, really?
I'm heading to the UK and France for 10 days.
Oh, cool. Let us know when whereabouts you're going to be.
Well, vacation or is it business related or what's up?
Business related. But I know they're just finalizing the details now, but it's going to be somewhere in the March air frame. But I'll have to shoot you a message and be like, Joe, I'm coming around, bud.
Yeah,
I'll bring some Canadian beer.
Right, some Molson. There you go.
Molson.
Yeah.
I've not had much from a Canadian beer, actually. Yeah, I'll be up for that.
Sean in the chat. Sean P., my favorite Giants fan. Love that man. He's a great individual, man. He's dude. Any podcast he's on is fantastic. All the podcasts I listen to are great. So they do a good job over there. So we, I don't know. I'm kind of in a weird spot right now. I really don't want to, go to AT&T and get a device. I'm kind of like, but I'm kind of right now, I'm kind of sitting on the Duo OG still. I'm still sitting on my Flip 4. I mean, I did go to AT&T. At least I could kind of see the hardware they have the Flip 5 and the Fold 5. I kind of like the Flip. I like the outer screen. It's really kind of nice.
You love your Flippy Dippy, didn't you?
I love my Flippy Dippy. And like I said, now when I've got, the sun went down. I'm like, holy shit, I have no lights on. Hold on a second. It got dark. I'm not dying. I swear to God. It's just
when it happened to me and you couldn't stop going on about it.
It's the clouds, man. What are you going to do, right? It's okay.
Yeah.
So, I got a chance to check out that outer screen and stuff. I'm like, okay. Now, I don't like the fact that, it's got to have a Good Lock app.
Yeah.
Well, and then it's not really ready yet. So
Good Lock's good, though. Good Lock's worth getting anyway.
But here's the problem. A lot of people don't know about it, and so I think it's one of those things where general Samsung users, I probably don't think they're aware of Good Lock as a customization option. So
let's spread the word. Guys, if you've got a Samsung device, get Good Lock.
Yeah, absolutely.
There we go.
Yeah, and then that's kind of what I do. So I liked it. The hardware looked really slick. But I was looking at the Fold right next to it. I'm like, man, I'd like to have a Fold too. So it's like,
what about the Razr though? The Razr Ultra?
They didn't have one for display, and I've heard and Sean made an interesting point that he said he had one. It's the build quality is a little.
Oh, okay.
He said
so I had one.
Yeah,
I had one, and so a lot of people have been saying, and I've heard this from a few people now. And I thought I was going fucking crazy. So I got mine at launch. When I opened up the hinge, it was crunchy. Like it was like an audible crunch sound. Now, I thought I was going, like my mind's just, I'm losing my marbles. But I stuck with it for a couple of days. I thought it might just ease in and work in. It didn't get any better, didn't get any worse. But it's definitely not in my experience, it wasn't as silent as the flip was when I had the flip at one point.
Yeah,
Doesn't build you with confidence, does it?
No, and Sean, and I think it should probably be okay.
Yeah.
You know, but at the end of the day, it's just like if you're used to having like, you know, an actual like a duo where it's like smooth and a fold, which is smooth, then you've got a flip, which is smooth, then you got to kind of got this. I'm curious on the other razors though. I wonder if they had the same kind of hinge.
I don't know, because I mean, I know they have that
creakiness. I guess that's the best way to describe it.
The hinge of the razor, doesn't they have those little like bristles that clean the dust out or the dirt out? I mean, I'm assuming that, you know, out of the factory, it wasn't in a dusty environment, right? But
yeah, absolutely. And so, and Sean confirmed. I knew I heard him say it in the chat. He said that it's just trash, and I was like, okay. Yeah. So that's what I'm more worried about is the fact that I just, you know, so it would definitely be if I'm on the flip train, it's definitely going to be a flip 5. And if I'm on a fold, if I want to get into that kind of lifestyle, which I don't know, I haven't decided yet. All I know is that either way, it's going to require me to get onto the blue train, and I'm, like I said, Sean's pretty much. I mean, I already didn't like AT&T as it is, but Sean is. I mean, I got to get these. So if I do that, I'm basically stuck to them for sure. And I'm like, I'm just trying to clear the deck on all these payments and all these devices, and I just don't need it right now. So I already see that on Swap. I've seen the Pixel Fold already down at 1,500, so that's already starting to kind of move, and it hasn't been a month, and it's already starting to move. But,
it's not even out properly.
Yeah, no joke. So yeah,
I'm actually contemplating just like locking myself in with the Pixel Fold and using it straight for a year, and just seeing what it's like at the end of the year of use, and just kind of seeing how it held up. Because I mean, I've had the N2 Flip, which Neil just brought up there. I had the N2 Flip, which I loved. And I also have had the Z Fold 4 in the past. This is the first time I've had the Pixel Fold, but I don't stick with them all that long. Like I get a little bit tired of the form factor after a while. The Pixel Fold is still it's been really good. I haven't had any issues with it, but I'm almost curious to see what it would be like if you did invest everything into that one device for just a year straight. And you did it as your every day. You took it everywhere you went. You took it to the beach and all that fun stuff. What's going to happen, right?
Yeah. And you know some good stuff's coming on it as well, like the future updates.
It's Google, right? So, I mean, they always do shit after the fact. I think 100%. I wouldn't be surprised if they bring over the same software that the Fold has that forces the aspect ratio. You know, like
something along them lines.
Yeah, at some point. I'm assuming it's probably going to come with Android 14. Like, somewhere along the line. I mean, I'm maybe in one of the betas or whatever, but I don't know. Like, I mean, again, for me, the Pixel Fold is kind of what I would imagine a good fold would look like. Shorter, easier in the hand, more pocketable, doesn't have that ridiculous long aspect ratio that the Fold 5 has. But I think you're going to have to probably wait another generation before it really kind of locks into the form factor and, you know, what they can do with it.
And I've seen this comment from other people too, like Neil's made the comment, and so did Simon. Yeah. Like they're just not into the flip; it's not their thing. I don't know how I feel.
What was that, Sam?
I'm trying to think how I really want to
contemplate.
I want to feel about it. It is pointless, but again, it was one of those people who always said, you know, you always have to open this, you know, this up, right? You have to open it. And I said, no, you don't. If you just leave it like this all the time, you don't have to open it up. It's your phone. It's
plus, dude, how hard is it to open? It's not hard.
And I mean, like I said, it's one of those things where a lot of times, especially if I know I'm going to be pulling my duo out quite a bit wherever I'm at doing something, I just leave it in this posture. I just leave it back to back. And then when I basically hit I hit my thing, and you just get right into it, right? So when I turn, and then when I'm done with it, I know if I'm going to be like, whatever, I just, and it's done.
That sound is so good.
You can still do that with this. You can still leave it like this. Well, that's my spouse. That's Becky, by the way. So anyway,
beautiful.
Well, I'm trying to. She hates that picture only because I took it. That picture's about.
Oh really? It looked like a nice photo. Show me.
6. It's like. Well, hold on a second.
I liked it.
I mean, she doesn't like the graininess. So when I took it 6 years ago, it was dark with a 6. And I don't remember what device I took it with, but that's.
Just say you done it as that was your edit. You added a bit of grain on purpose.
No, it's the way the picture is. No,
why don't you use that The
You both look
unblurred
happy.
feature on the Pixel there, buddy.
Yeah, no surprise.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Doesn't hit my face. And then this is our regular. That's from our wedding day, by the way.
There you go.
That's right. Yeah.
Look at that. Sam's very happy there.
I know. I'm still happy. 10 years later, I'm still.
Yeah.
I think she's kind of like, I don't really know if I got into this guy, and then it's like, I'm definitely cool. But like I said, I think you could still. It's one of those situations where if you really wanted to, I know it's not, practical. You could still just leave it in this posture and put it in your pocket. Now, granted, it's plastic, right? So if you got keys and shit, it's gonna, you know what I mean. It's not. Again, it's not optimal.
It's not advised.
Yeah.
You could, especially if you just have like regular, shorts on or something like that, and nothing in your pocket, you could still pull it off. But I do get it. At least with the outside screen having some kind of usability now, at least now for the simple little tasks that you want to do, real quick, looking at a notification, real quick, doing something, it would alleviate more of the use of having to open it up to engage with it. Clearly, if you're making
See, the flippy dippy does appeal to me, but there's still massive question marks over the durability of them.
Yeah.
The folds seem okay compared to the. You'd think the fold would be a bigger issue, but the folds are okay compared to the flippy dippies.
Well,
I always see issues with them.
I was just thinking when Sam, when you were talking about putting the flip in your pocket. So I was talking to someone else about this earlier in the week, but I was saying that how somebody puts their phone in their pocket kind of tells me everything I need to know about a person as their personality. So like there's a couple of different ways that people will store their phones in their pocket.
Okay.
For me, it's left side face in my pocket. So like the face of the phone is facing my thigh.
Right. No psychopath puts the phone.
Are you left-handed?
Yeah. No, I'm not. But I keep
okay.
my pocket in my left. I mean, my phone is always in my left pocket,
Oh,
not
okay.
my right pocket. I don't know why that is because I'm right-handed, very much so right-handed. But I keep my wallet and keys in my right side, my phone in my left side, facing my thigh. But I'm also well aware that there's a lot of crazy people out there who have their phone facing out, the screen facing outward.
Hell no.
But there are, and this is what I was saying. So like someone was saying to me, like, if there is someone out there that does that, like that's crazy to me. Like if you're doing that with your phone, like that's bizarre to me.
Snap.
Sam, what's your
I didn't actually get all judgy about it like you did. Like I've segmented. I'm gonna watch how this guy puts his phone. It's gonna tell me.
Well, I don't pay attention.
Right?
I don't pay attention, but I find that's a little bit crazy for someone to not do that.
Right.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I would have to agree. I never really thought about it. It's maybe one of the things I've observed in my regular day to day, but just never really put a thought to it. But yeah, I would agree. But
So Sam,
like
what pocket's it going for you? What pocket?
It's always in my right for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, mine's right. Mine's right.
Probably because I'm right-handed. Because
Yeah.
usually in my left pocket is always the key. If I'm out and about, it's the key to my Mustang keys in my left.
Yeah,
pocket.
keys in my left.
And it's just a
phone in my
fob, right? And the funny thing is, it's just a plastic like fob, right? So it really probably wouldn't. It wouldn't scratch anything even if I put it in my pocket with the device. But and then sometimes, like I said, with this, I have put it just in my pocket. If I'm I'm at work sometimes, I'll just, if I'm going back and forth, I'll just throw it in my pocket deployed like this and just throw it in my pocket real quick. But most of the time, it's always closed. And that kind of thing. And I guess what it is I'm just so used to it now.
Yeah.
I'm just used to it. Like it doesn't, I use my thumb. I can just kind of, do this. And if I really want to, I can. I can't. I can flip it a little bit.
Yeah.
But again, it's just I guess I'm used to it, and for me it just again, and I agree, and I like where's the comment that Peter made? Oh yeah, right.
I feel like people moan about the very smallest inconvenience. Like,
flip is good for triage and notifications and getting and then fold is right. Okay, because remember you're just going to a regular slab phone when you deploy this, whereas a fold you're getting a fuller more full canvas, right? The only problem I have with how good the outer display is, and technically T made a comment about it, you're almost to the point where it's so good you don't even open up the inside of the phone.
Yeah.
And that's where I think is this. I don't think people think about that much. It's like, okay, if the outside is so good, you really never open it. Well, when are you?
Yeah.
The whole point is having a deployable phone. So now he's like, well, I have it if I need it. Both you.
Then it's like a pager.
Yeah, it's like but it's just like You know what I mean? My thing is this: if you're going to get a foldable, you should be using the inner screen at least if in a daytime, let's say you open up your phone 20 times, let's just put that as a metric.
Yeah.
Right? You should be at least using the inside screen at least 10 of those times, or at least 5 of those times, at least 20 to 50%.
If you're going to watch content, answer a call, you're going to open it.
Right.
No.
You're gonna if you're doing a quick thing, you're just gonna do the quick thing. And I would be arguing that you probably would, if you were sitting down, like I say, you would even have the device open, right? You would just sit there and just keep jamming away on it because that's the form factor. That's the use case that you're used to. Slab phone, right? You're used to slab phoning it.
Oh, you're talking about the folds now?
Yeah, the foldables. Yeah.
Oh, I'm still talking about flippy dippy.
No, I mean, if you want to use the outside screen, like on the Razr, the Flip 5, I guess you could, but man, that's gotta be. I mean, if you're complaining about the thinness of a fold,
I saw bored at work gaming on it on Instagram. I thought that's a bit mad. Jesus,
I mean, I guess you could. I mean, honestly, if you're playing like a simple game, like a Tetris or a stack game, or
it's playing Call of Duty, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're going to be playing like PUBG, that'd be kind of sweet, man. PUBG on a Razr is outside screen.
There is footage of people playing PUBG on the outer screen. I'm sure there is on YouTube somewhere. Like I saw that somewhere. But I almost feel like with the flipping phones, I think I said this to you, Sam. It's almost like the anti-smartphone. It's for people who don't want to check their notifications as often because you've got instant access to them on the outer screen, right? So, like for me, I'm always taking my phone out of the pocket because I'm getting 1,000 emails a day, and I just want to see, like, okay, who sent me the email? Do I need to respond to it immediately? I feel like the Flip is better for that, especially now with the outer display, like the Razr and the Flip 5, where you can just go, oh, okay, mum emailed me, I don't need to email her back, whatever. Oh, this company emailed me, I've got to respond immediately. Like, I feel like that's the best usage case for that. But I don't know.
Phone delay. So, yeah.
Just quickly get into pockets, Sam, right?
Yeah, well, I had to go back because there were so many comments and I got on a tangent.
Sam, have you noticed a lot of women have used back pocket, which I think is even more crazy?
Yes.
That's a fine place to get it stolen.
Right. Or like sit on.
Or sit on, or loads of things.
So let's see. Neil does right pocket, Walden left. Okay, I get that. He's also making a comment because him and Peter are talking about Color OS and MIUI and stuff. Yes. Color OS doesn't bother me. I know a lot of people get all pissed.
I don't mind Color OS.
I don't mind Color OS. It's okay. I do like if you're an old school Oxygen OS, or if you're even gangster than that. I used to use builds of Hydrogen OS because I liked it better than Oxygen OS back in the day. You could flash on your old on your old 1+5, 1+6. I used to do that too. Phone in right pocket. Okay. Yeah, I get it.
I'm crazy. I must be the only one who has it in their left pocket. Maybe I feel like there's something wrong with me now.
Well, I guess
that's why I asked. Are you left hand? He's right-handed though, because that's a bit of gymnastics there, isn't it?
So, you know what I think it is? Because I'm like crazy old school, like holding my phone and tapping with my right.
Okay, so I get you.
Like that's what it is. Like I'm not a double thumb. My thumbs I have huge hands. I'm not a double thumb typer. I'm that guy.
So in that case, it's coming from your left hand.
It's coming from my left hand into my right to activate, right, or to use.
That makes sense now.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I just found it bizarre, and all these other people were like, "Well, I have it in my back pocket, or I have it face out, and it's in my right pocket." I'm like, "Okay, sure." Like,
and basically, and Neil sums it up. Basically, it's because you're Canadian.
Yeah, probably. Everything's backwards. Yeah, Neil, that's probably pretty accurate, Neil.
Right. It's like, I do it because I always got maple syrup sticking on my right hand, so I gotta have my left hand available. This is always dipped in.
It's like Winnie the Pooh,
Right. It's constantly maple syrup. It's terrible. It's kind of a thing you do around here. So, yeah, I know it's interesting. Well, and here's the one thing I am glad about. At least now that we have more stuff in the marketplace between the Flip, the Pixels, and Folds, and this. Now that conversation gets real interesting. Now because we're now trying to change the thought process of the candy bar phone, right? And now we're even discussing. Somebody mentioned rollable. I'm like, I don't know if that's still going to be. I don't think it's going to be a thing. It's just way too prone to failure, and I just don't think that people are. I mean, it'd be a really cool thing to have because you'd be like, man, watch this. Yeah. But as a general consumer, day to day, as the way people use their phones as much as they do, I just don't think that's going to work real well.
Plus, like we're saying, people want things instantly, and waiting for it to roll. People just,
they're just like, fuck it.
Yeah,
they won't even want to wait. Yeah, it's like, well, then they'll complain about that. If rollables became a thing, the iterative thing would be how fast it could deploy and retract.
Yeah.
Well, it's doing it in like 8 seconds. The new one, the rollable N5 flippy Jabba, that one goes in 0.3 seconds faster. So it's an upgrade.
Don't you hate them? You know them automatic doors that you walk up to and they're not opening before you get there, and you're like, come on.
Like, just grab it, just go. God, I don't have time for this. Right? It's. I'd like to see rollables as a thing, but it's just as a general consumer device. I really don't think that's going to have a practical use. I think you have.
I can't see it. Yeah.
A lot of failures with that thing, especially, and as you talk about durability questions with folds, flips, I think rollables are even worse off than that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Jerry rig everything. He'll just pull it until he'll just pull it out like a ribbon, piece of film. Don't do that.
So, quick question for you guys. Now that we've had foldables in the market now for what, 5, 6, 7 years, do you think the wow factor's gone? Where, like, you know, when you're at a store and you open up like the Duo or you open up the Fold 5 and people see it, do you think that wow factor's gone now, or is it still there even today for like the?
I think the wow factor's still there for people, just not tech people.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, even I said the other day, I was out. What was I doing yesterday? I was just out mucking around. I had this and I was using it, and then I actually was playing golf on Thursday night, and I took it out to look at something real quick. My wife had made me a text message, and the other guy I was playing says, "Oh, I have one of those too," and he pulled his out and he's like, "Yeah." And he goes, "The only thing I don't like about using this is," and I thought he was going to say, I have to flip it, or like Neil said, I got to open it. It's a pain.
Yeah.
He's like, everybody I talk to is like, man, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Everybody's always making comments about his phone flipping. Right.
Yeah.
And so I think for general people who don't know it's a thing, I still think it's very much it's not, the wow factor is way there. It depends on who you're talking to. If it's an Apple person, it's definitely there because there's nothing like that. And it probably will never be like that, anything in the Apple space. So for them, it is a wow factor. And then, but yeah, I think for people like us, it's starting to kind of become normalized a bit.
Yeah.
We're starting to get used to a thing, and now we're sitting there going, now we're looking for, well, what's the next thing the Fold's going to do? Speaking of, did you see the Fold 6 prototype that's got the stylus?
I did.
So I'm like, I didn't notice it. Maybe it's me, and I guess I wasn't paying a close attention to the form factor. It didn't look that much. It wasn't Fold. Right, it wasn't Oppo.
Looked like an Ultra.
It was It looked more. It was a little wider, but it wasn't.
It was wider. Yeah.
It was wider, but not grossly wide. Like, wow, that's.
I'm telling you, and I think someone said this in the comments. If they had released that this year, it would have been game over.
Oh yeah, it would have had a stylus in the silo, and it would have been a little bit wider. Forget it. Everybody who had a Pixel Fold, unless you're a diehard Pixel.
Oh, they would have jumped ship in 2 seconds. Yeah.
You just said fuck it. And I think that's what they were. And I think that's the disappointment that you're seeing from people. It really was like, man, we were hoping that Samsung, knowing that the Fold's coming out, seeing that Chinese competitors are there. Now you could sit back and Sam can say, well, that's not in the United States, it's not North America, so we can kind of sit back and we don't give a shit. But I think that's where the hardware lead time was in. I think they already had the Fold 5, and this is where they were going to be hardware-wise, and they were stuck to it. And
they couldn't change it. Yeah,
they couldn't change it. Now this prototype was probably a year ago or whatever. This was the you know what I mean? They have to prototype these things out by years, right? This is not, they're not just waking up today and go, okay, now what are we gonna do? They're not sitting there now going, what's the Fold 6 gonna look like from the ground up from a hardware perspective? They're not that. That's not a thing. They are literally having that. They'll probably have prototypes in the pipeline for Fold 7 and Fold 8.
Yeah,
probably,
somewhere on a drawing board, somewhere in a schematic, somewhere in a CAD program, somewhere in there, it's in there. But I think they were kind of they got kind of caught
with
in the
tiny
middle.
iterations.
And I think they got caught in the middle. And now I think they see that they've gotten a lot of feedback. And I know Samsung pays attention to that stuff. For the Fold 6, and that's why I think these leaks came out. Samsung's finally said, okay, we'll show them what the prototype's going to be.
Yeah.
If that comes out next year, man,
it's done.
That might be what that's probably what's going to put me over. That's probably
that device will be solid for sure. But what about the watches? The watches are interesting this year.
I'm not a watch guy. I'm more of a band guy. I still have a watch. I have my Galaxy 3. I still use, but I like
it. It's 47mm, the new watch classic.
For me, that's a non-starter. I know for a person like probably Darren with bigger hands, or I know Sean's a bigger guy. Maybe that's a doable thing. But for a person like me, Yeah, dude. For a person
That's a
like
dummy
me that
one.
doesn't have, I mean, my wrists are pretty. I mean, I can almost reach my fingers around it.
Yeah.
That 47 millimeters.
My hand looks like a baby hand. Look.
Right. I mean, it depends. Again, the 47 millimeters, like any other watch, right? You really have to look at what your size is, right? And I knew a buddy of mine. He had even smaller wrists than I. He actually used a woman's watch, a 38 millimeter watch.
Yeah.
The thing is, I kind of liked it weirdly though.
Right.
The bigger form factor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of liked it.
No fan watches.
People like showing off, right? Like that's what it is. That's why people buy the Apple Watch Ultra because
the battery life as well.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, I think Samsung had to release a bigger one because they had to compete with the Ultra.
Yeah.
That's just what it's about.
100%,
I don't think it's necessarily maybe better, maybe a little quicker, whatever, better.
But I'm excited for the bezel coming back, the rotating bezel.
Yes.
That's why I still keep this one, because I have it on my 3.
That's why I've still got my watch 3, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's why they're probably going after that market, right? They want all the people that are upgrading from the Watch 3. Here you go. You want a successor? We fucked up last year with our stupid touchscreen bullshit. Let's bring back the bezel and make people happy, and that'll probably
Yeah, and I agree, Sean. No, I wouldn't buy a woman's watch. I would just go with the 42 millimeter and just have to kind of get a band that's really. What I did was I put this kind of mesh. It's kind of like a mesh band.
Milanese. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's got a little magnet, so it's adjustable all the way out. But I obviously, but I mean, I'm more, like I said, I would be more happy with a Pixel band. I would think at like a $199, a Pixel band would be great. You don't have, again, that's why I'm okay with using I don't need to respond to every time this thing goes.
Yeah.
I don't need to respond every time it goes. I just see the notification. Yeah. It's an email. It's whatever. Or it's hey, somebody's putting up a YouTube video, or hey, somebody made a comment on X, or hey, I don't need to see that in the moment, right? I mean, I'm working a lot, and like I said, when I'm at work, I'm focusing on work.
I turn a lot of the notifications off. I only want certain things coming through.
Right. Yeah. So for me, it's a thing. So yeah, I'm curious to see. I mean, I wonder how many of those classics they're going to actually sell. I'm curious to see what the watch is, because I thought the 5 was pretty good. I thought the 5 series.
So
I'm wondering who's going to buy that.
5 Pro is pretty good.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's going to be. You think there's going to be a lot of people from the 5, Darren, who have the 5 and go up, or it's going to be more of the people like me with the 3 and the 4 that are like
only if they want the classic. If they want the classic, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, for a person like that, maybe if you've got a 5, clearly not. But if maybe you've got like a 2 or a 3 and it's starting to get a little long in the tooth, it's starting to get a little slow.
Yeah.
And you just want something new because you've had the same device for a while. You're itching.
Well, remember, they were giving away the Watch 5s too, I think, with pre-orders of last year's fall.
Right.
So they were giving those away for nothing. So, I mean, I'm imagining most of the Samsung watches on people's wrists today are probably the Watch 5 or the 5 Pro.
Yeah.
Most likely.
But again, I mean, I'm with Neil there about the Pixel Watch. I think that the second generation of the Pixel Watch might be kind of interesting if they can manage to find a way to fix the battery, and maybe go slightly bigger. I always said the Pixel Watch is the perfect size. It's 41 millimeters, I think, off the top of my head.
Yeah,
I still liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like the design of it. I thought the Pixel Watch looked really, really slick. I like it. And Sean's saying the new Tick Watch is bigger. I guess is it 48 millimeters? I wonder. I'm curious.
49. I think it's the same size as the Ultra, maybe.
Oh wow, that's and like I said, and again, that's for me. Like I said, for a person like me, I would be more in the band.
Yeah.
I'm that segment of people. I have a watch and I do use it, but I still have my Mi Band 6, and I use that a lot because I can wear that for 3 or 4 days and I don't have to worry about battery constraints. I don't have to take it off,
Sam, you need to get one of the whoops, man. That's the.
Now I've heard about. So tell me about what is this thing about? Like, am I missing something here? Like, what's the deal with this?
Okay, so
I
got sick of wearing a smartwatch because it was constantly buzzing on my wrist and telling me fucking Joe commented on my Facebook. So, like I was constantly and it used to piss me off. I used to turn all the notifications off, and then I thought to myself, why am I even wearing this thing if I'm not getting notifications? I don't want people to call me on my wrist. So I started looking into something that was not a smartwatch, but could still give me a lot of the metrics that I wanted from, the health side of things. So basically, what the Whoop does, Sam, it's basically what I would describe as like a recovery device. So you wear it all the time. at the beginning of each day, when you turn your phone on, it syncs up all the data and it kind of gives you an overview of how recovered you are, how much sleep you got, how much sleep you need, resting heart rate, details. It gives you example. It tells you coaching like, hey, you had a rough day yesterday, maybe take it easy today. So it's basically a recovery device is how I would describe it. But I'll be honest with you, I forget it's on my wrist. It's lightweight. It's very, very comfortable. The band's very, very comfortable. I don't take it off. It doesn't come off my wrist at all. You even charge it on your wrist. So it's insane. It's insane that a lot of people aren't jumping on it. I know if you're someone like Neil was saying here, like I sound like him. If you're somebody that doesn't want a traditional smartwatch and you don't care about all that other stuff, but you want the health metrics side of things, this is what I've been wearing since last November, maybe now.
Okay.
It looks slick.
Yeah,
I mean it's simple. I mean it's very basic. It's kind of there's a latch and it clasps and that's pretty much it. That's all you're getting. And then on the actual app, I'll show you the app here.
Because there's no display on this device, right? So you actually it's really just the app that you have to like.
So I don't know if you guys can see that, but it kind of gives you an overview of recovery, strain, your resting heart rate, your sleep score. So like if you look at my sleep here, so I don't know if you can see this, but I went for a run this morning. So I've built up my strain. And my sleep, which is, I had 6 hours of sleep, which is really not that much. But if you have a look up on the top here, it actually tells you like how much your sleep score, performance score was. So 65% is not a great score. You should be getting on average about 80 or 90. So it's telling me right here, in order for me to get my 80 or 90%, I would need to go to bed at 6 p.m. So I've got about 2 hours.
That's not happening.
Yeah, no way.
I mean, the more interesting thing is like the recovery. So after my workout this morning, it's saying that I'm basically 59% recovered, which is basically saying that I need more rest. And then on the other side of things, the strain is how much strain I've exerted today doing what I've in my regular day and kind of how much I should be doing and maybe if I should take it easy or not. And that's kind of what the basic overview is. Like that's kind of what it's about. And it gives you like, your resting heart rate. What else you got on here? Respiratory rate, blood oxygen levels, skin temperature. Okay. But I will say this much. One thing that fascinated me was a few months back, I got the flu and the Whoop app notified me saying that my skin temperature had been a little higher than normal.
Oh, okay.
And, over a couple of day period, my skin temperature had been a little hotter than normal. And sure enough, I looked that up, and that's apparently like a telltale sign that you're getting sick. Is that your body's normal, right? So that was fascinating to me, and very informative for somebody that's trying to stay healthy and maybe not kind of get sick too often, but. I like it. I mean, it's not going to be for everybody. It's not going to be giving you notifications, and it does have an alarm, and it'll buzz on your wrist if you set an alarm to get you up in the morning.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much what I do with my Mi Band. It's just like it's nice to have it because I don't have to worry about setting my phone because even no matter what I do, it vibrates and it makes a lot of noise. Whereas if one on my Mi Band, it just vibrates on my wrist. And it doesn't matter. My dog wake me up at 4:30 anyway, so I'm up.
See, my thing is I want them to look more like traditional watches. So, cause I know you've said in the past, Sam, like Apple Watches, you don't like it because they look too sporty and that. So
well, you can clearly tell it's not a watch. Like I would be able to walk down the street and see you, and I don't know if you're wearing a smartwatch or just a regular.
Yeah, that's what I want. More like
citizen traditional look. Or traditional look. Like I want it to look like a traditional watch.
Sam, check out Withings.
Withings, yeah. Yeah.
They look nice, mate.
I've reviewed a couple of Withings watches, and every time I put one on my wrist, it's very hard to take off. Unfortunately, I've had to send them back most of the time since I've done these reviews, but...
they're not cheap.
No, they're not. And they do give you some pretty good overall metrics of fitness and heart rate and stuff like that. And you can interact with notifications a little bit.
This is more my speed. Like if you're gonna wear a watch,
these are nice,
it
real
looks just
nice.
like a watch. But I'm sure they're probably not exactly affordable. They're probably a little bit pricey, which is fine.
There's all different price ranges. Yeah, but it's worth it though.
The problem with Withings here in Canada is that they're not approved for like blood oxygen and like some of the stuff, because I guess you have to have like some kind of health of government of Canada approval. So a lot of the features don't work as well as they could over here, which is a little bit unfortunate. But I mean, again, like for me, the Whoop has been the thing that's stuck the longest, only because it works for what I need it to give me, right? Do I wish it had a screen? Maybe a little basic one, just to kind of give me like a heart rate reading if I wanted to check it right there, and then instead of having to open the app. But it doesn't bother me if it doesn't. I'm always banging shit with my wrist anyway, so I find
that's the problem, man.
Well, this is why the Whoop is perfect for me, because I hit door frames all the time. And my door frame here in this room, it's got chunks missing from it from when I hit it with the Apple Watch Ultra. And the Apple Watch Ultra went unscathed. So,
the Scam Watch, that's the one.
Yeah. That's not bad. The other one was $179. I was looking at it thinking I was displaying it, but I didn't have it on the right tab. So, yeah, this is pretty nice. This isn't, like I could get down with something like this. And I like this color, but clearly it's a 38 millimeter, so it's a woman's watch. But I think that's pretty sharp looking. Like I said, I just don't, again, because the problem with Apple Watch users is, and I understand why they continue to wear them, so I'm not bashing them for that, but you'll see him out in a really nice cocktail dress or guys in a nice outfit, and he's got this goofy looking Apple Watch, and it just looks out of place. You got you're dressed in this really nice suit. She's wearing, there was a woman that came to the country club I work at sometimes, and she was like really nice, dialed up, goofy Apple Watch, this orange fucking band on it, and it just looked stupid. I'm like, why would you switch that thing off and just put on a regular small little woman's timepiece, or wear nothing? Can't you not have your Apple Watch unless, again, people have it for medical reasons. Again, I'm not saying if you need it, you need it, but she didn't look like she did, and I guarantee she's just so used to wearing it, and she's not thinking. But I looked down at him and her, and they both have one on, and they look goofy with it on. It just looks, it's not a classical looking timepiece. It's clearly an Apple Watch, and I just don't think it's a good look. I think if you're going to be niced up, dressed up, you should go all the way down.
So, Sam, just to kind of piggyback off what we were talking about with the Whoop. So there's another brand called Bellabeat, Bellabeat, and they do like a classy, dressier version of like a Whoop, I guess, band. Which looks a bit more like jewelry, but it kind of gives all the same metrics like heart rate, cardiac coherence, respiratory rate, activity, sleep, etc. But it looks like exactly like a piece of jewelry.
Okay.
And that's been very popular. I don't know if you guys have it where you guys are in the UK or the States there, but it's been very popular over here too lately. Just kind of as an alternative to, I guess the smartwatch market, right?
Right. And I think, honestly, if I were going to get something like the Whoop, because it's really just completely just health and fitness and that's it, I think, like I said, I think I would go with this Oura Ring. I think that would be more, wearing it on my, and it's probably a little pricier, but I'd probably wear that on my, on my other hand or whatever, and use that as, if I was just doing sleep and fitness and strain and all that kind of stuff like that Whoop's doing. Although I think that Whoop's pretty cool. That's a subscription thing, right? So you subscribe to their service and then you get the Whoop device, and then it's really more of a subscription-based tracking thing. Okay.
So basically, I think the band is free, so you kind of get the band itself is free, and you're paying like a yearly or like 16-month or monthly if you wanted to fee. So it's kind of like Netflix or Spotify. You're paying for a subscription, but I mean, again, for me, that doesn't really bother me because in the end, it works out to be about the same, price as an Apple Watch anyway.
Right.
Neil wonders how accurate. I'm assuming he's talking about the rings,
or just that, or even the Whoop. Like, I mean, how?
So
you know what I mean? That would be the only thing is if you're paying for a subscription, and if I'm paying monthly, I would want, especially if you're checking sleep and strain.
Yeah, you want it to be accurate, don't you?
Well, as close as it can be without being, obviously there's going to be some fudge factor there, but I want it to be actually pretty accurate if I'm paying the money.
I think with the Whoop, especially when it comes to sleep, I believe that Whoop is the best in the market for sleep tracking. Don't quote me on that, but I remember reading that somewhere that as far as accuracy is concerned for that side of things. I mean, you got to remember, like, this thing's monitoring your health 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It doesn't come
I was going to say, how long do you have to charge it? How often?
It's like a little puck that slides over the top. I charge it every, like, 5th or 6th day.
Okay. That's not bad. Not bad.
So it's about a week battery life. And it's very easy. Like, even when you charge it, you can even wear it in the shower when you're charging, because even the puck that charges it is waterproof.
Yeah.
So
nice.
I've done that a few times where I'm like, shit, I got to get to work. It's almost out of battery. Let me pop it on the charger. I'll go shower. I'll get ready for work, and I'm good to go for the rest of the week, right? So, just one of those things, right? It's kind of like a cool little investment into your health.
Yep. I agree. If I could get the phone to work on AT&T, I would use a P60 Pro. Yeah. I would use a Huawei phone.
I love Huawei.
I love Huawei. And I don't even care if they have Google services. I don't even care.
I do care about that badly.
Well, you have to because you've tied into it, but they have all their app gallery, all the Microsoft stuff's there. The only thing is there's 1 or 2 apps that, like, banking would be obviously not going to work on that kind of thing. But as far as like 90% of what I do, I could use a Huawei phone and be perfectly fine.
Simon hit the nail on the head there, Sam. He said that the Magic 5 Pro is amazing. That phone is a phone I can just not put down. And I have it. I got it right here, actually. It's my other SIM card that I have is in this phone. The photos that this phone takes, and I was just actually talking to Dalvon yesterday about this because I thought it might have just been like a big hype train scenario where, like, people are saying the cameras are amazing, but honestly, the photos that this phone takes are like nothing I've ever seen before. And I know, Joe, you're a big Pixel fan.
Yep.
They are better than the Pixel. And that's me. That's as a Pixel fanboy here saying that the photos are better. That's a very hard thing for me to admit. But when you're taking photos, and I'll give you an example. I posted this up on Twitter. But
I'd love to try one.
I don't know if you can see that, but I took that photo of my wife yesterday or the day before. And I was showing this to Dalvon, and Dalvon was like, what camera did you use to take it? He thought I'd been using like a DSLR or something like that. And I was like, no, it was just quite literally just the Magic 5 Pro. It's amazing, that phone. And I know
that has a 1-inch sensor, doesn't it? Does it have a 1-inch sensor? Does that have a 1-inch sensor? It does, doesn't it?
Just short of a 1-inch
Just
sensor.
short. Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, it's 3 50 megapixel lenses. So you've got a 50 megapixel main, a 50 megapixel ultra wide, 50 megapixel telephoto. People are sleeping on the Magic 5 Pro. I mean, and I know it's
got good autofocus as well, isn't it?
It does. So basically, all of the most modern camera tech, besides like the 1-inch sensor, is in there. So you've got and the variable aperture, which would be nice. But honestly, I haven't had any issues with the photos I've taken from this phone. And every time I take another photo, I'm just getting more and more like amazed at just the quality and the clarity. And I know Simon, he said he went from the Pixel 7 Pro to the Magic 5 Pro, and he's super impressed, and I don't blame him. It's not just hype.
Like I said, I'm in the same boat though. I can't. I mean,
I'd like to try on it.
Yeah, I'd like to get. I mean, if I could get it to work, I would probably pick one.
I mean, it's a global release, so I mean, it works here in Canada. I get everything 5G, all of that stuff. Like everything works absolutely fine. The face unlock, as Simon says here. So this is the only phone that I've ever used in the last 10 years that when you're using a password manager, the face unlock biometrics in banking and stuff like that is enough. You don't have to use the fingerprint sensor.
Yeah, that's nice.
the Face Unlock is that secure and that good that most banking apps that I use here in Canada.
Oh, yeah, it's got 2, isn't it? 2 sensors.
Yeah, so in the top corner there, I don't know if you can see that.
It's flashing away, yeah.
It's flashing away, but it's amazing. Like it's you've got basically a wide angle and a regular lens on the front. It's the same as the back, basically. But yeah, I'm super impressed, and I know Tuna, who's on our podcast there, Sam, he has one too, and it's a phone that we just both can't put down. He kind of got me interested in it when he was taking some photos and showing me, and I kind of managed to pick one up, and I can't seem to get rid of it. It's my my other device currently, so.
Yeah, no, so I've heard good things. I've heard good things.
Under Magic 5, right? That's what it is. So,
Magic 5 Pro, yeah.
Well, like I said, maybe one day. Man, who knows?
The new Huawei.
The new Huawei. Yeah, well, I mean, it's the best of Huawei without the bullshit of Huawei, right? Like, Honor's their sub-brand, so they haven't been.
It was their sub-brand.
Well, it was their sub-brand. They've broken away since, but yeah.
Well, I mean, let's see. Who knows? But I mean, we had a great conversation. We're at time. We're at an hour and 10 minutes, so we are like buzzing around along.
Really fast.
The funny thing is, when I started the show, I wasn't in my mind thinking, and other than what's going on with like the fold and stuff, there really wasn't much to talk about. We round out talking about.
Do you mean the unpacking event? We didn't even talk about the tablets.
Nah. Yeah, no tablets. We didn't talk about sport. Nothing like that. We didn't do
quickly. The smallest one has actually got a proper screen on it for once.
Yeah.
It's got the AMOLED screen.
Yeah.
So finally.
Time.
Yeah.
We'll actually have to chat. We'll have to chat about that next time. So, but anyway, Darren, hey man, thanks on short notice for coming in and swinging on and having a chat. And mate, like I said, you're always welcome anytime you're available. You want to swing on in? We'd love having you in, and we really appreciate your time.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
That's good.
All right, Joe. Anything else with let me send you some Sweet Baby Rays, probably as a care package.
Yeah. Keep an eye out on the Purposely Pixel channel. I'll be having some content on this bad boy coming up. The Soundcore Motion X600.
Absolutely, and also don't forget our channel sponsor, Extreme Skins. I think they got new skins. Didn't they have some new skins?
Skin your shit.
Skin your shit. Hashtag skin your shit. Check them out. They got a lot of good stuff, and they got new stuff in the pipe that just got launched. So check them out. Remember, on Wednesdays, usually that day is a buy one get one. So check them out. Let them know that we sent you, and tell them you're there to skin your shit, and they'll hook you up. And they probably will just hook you up anyway. You don't have to say that. You might actually make them freak them out a little bit. They probably
yeah. Don't let them cotton onto that.
Absolutely. Yes. So check out the Purposely Pixel YouTube channel, Joe's content, and then also what Lenny's doing over there is a great job. Skin your shit with extremeskins.co.uk. Check them out as well. And that's it. So for myself, for Joe, for July, last show of July, man, we're already halfway through the year.
I know, man.
It's crazy. And stay cool out there, and try not to dodge the raindrops. Hopefully, you don't have any power outages or lightning strike and knock a tree over and go through your shit. Hopefully, you don't have to worry about being safe, and you don't have a tree landing on your house or your flat, as it may be. And we'll be back next Sunday for the Nomad Tech Project with Sam and Joe. We don't have a guest, but maybe we'll figure out something. Who knows? Maybe Darren. Darren's on vacation, though. I think he's going to
I'm on vacation this week, but I mean, I'm willing to tune in from a remote location if need be.
Absolutely. Well, that's all. Hey, that's all we can ask for. I mean, at this point, and it's best. So for everyone in the chat, man, Simon and Neil and Peter, and thanks for the super chat from Jimmy. Stay hydrated. Enjoy your tech. Check out some foldables, check out some flippables, or just get a phone or stick with your old stuff. I mean, it's fine. You don't have to buy nothing. Don't.
And check out OneCutReviews.
And check out OneCutReviews.com and make sure you check them out. It's not just phones. It's all the things.
Everything.
That includes
everything.
And clothes.
Just did some chili sauce this week, which was interesting.
Absolutely.
Nice.
So check that website out. Bookmark that in your browser. You go check out because there's always some good stuff going on What Cut Reviews. Check out Darren's channel and his website. And also, we have the TNT podcast. It's on Wednesdays and Thursdays or Sundays or whatever. We'll let you know. And we've got a pretty happening channel over there and a lot of X threads. It's just weird.
Yes.
It's just weird. It's just not going to be. It's just awkward. Anyway, so for myself, for Joe, for Darren, thanks for stopping by. Download this if you didn't catch the live stream, and then tell all your friends about the Nomad Tech Project. And enjoy your week. Enjoy your tech. Be excellent to each other. We will catch you all next Sunday. Love your faces. Bye, everybody. Have a good day. Thanks for stopping by.
Goodbye.